Hey y'all, this is Southern Woods here. Welcome back to another Ages of Conflict War simulation. One of my most popular videos was what if all the US rivers, major ones, weren't crossable? How would that affect an all-out battle royale civil war? I've changed it up. All the rivers are crossable, however, all the states are broken up by rivers. Each boundary is a river. Alright, so basically the US has become one large archipelago in a way. Alright, none of them basically touching except Utah and Colorado. Let me fix that right now. Yeah, sure, that's good enough. And then looking at the terrain version, it's very cool. You can see the deserts, and then you can see everything else broken up by the rivers very nicely, the Appalachians. It's a very pretty map. Let's see who will win in this scenario where if you want to go from one state to another, you have to cross a river. Or that'd be by ferry or canoe or, I don't know, battleship. The rivers that were already there are smaller, and then the ones I had to make, I made a little larger. Pennsylvania is going to be the first to fall in this simulation, so a big state not doing well. And you could just see how much more it affects things. Like look at the border gore here. Everything's kind of broken up because of the rivers. Very interesting. Very curious to see how this one ends up. Louisiana. Wow. You almost never see this in these simulations. Texas falling early, especially to Louisiana. But they ran out of economy, so they're not going to get all of Texas here. Florida is also going to fall to Alabama, doing the wraparound via the Panhandle. And then North Dakota on an all-out assault against Montana. New York is also going to fall to Vermont. Idaho is going to fall to Oregon. Wow. Very interesting. This is a very aesthetically appealing map, in my opinion. Having it all be broken up by the rivers. Something very nice on the eyes, for me at least. We just had New Jersey fall to Maryland. So Maryland just has all these little islands now, basically. Very cool, in my opinion. Wisconsin crossing that river. Alright, the north end of the Mississippi and taking out Minnesota. We just had Virginia and Ohio also fall. Alright, I guess someone crossed the Ohio. Arkansas trying to cross Missouri. Louisiana was conquered by Mississippi. Louisiana was not doing too hot. They did not do a good job saving up their funds after taking out Texas. New Mexico, look at them. They look very nice and big right there. Missouri now being the ones in Arkansas, and it looks like Arkansas may be the next to fall here, and they are. Already almost half of America is gone. It's a very, very pretty map. How many times am I going to say that? How many times am I going to pat myself on the back for this idea? Wyoming going to be conquered by Nebraska. Nebraska looking very, very interesting. I don't like that. North Dakota is going to continue their all-out western assault going against Washington. Meanwhile, Massachusetts just fell to Vermont. Washington pieces out momentarily. That's good for them. Alright, we just had Wisconsin fall to Illinois. Kentucky also fall to Illinois. So Illinois kind of making that big L shape, saying loser to everyone else. The Southeast overall hasn't been too conflicted. Tennessee's mainly whole. Alright, Florida and Louisiana fell, and I guess Texas, but overall the Southeast has been pretty peaceful. California hasn't had to deal with anyone, so, well, I jinxed that. As they take out Nevada, they're not dealing with anyone. Everyone's dealing with them. California, of course, tends to be a decently strong opponent in these simulations. Oregon conquered by Washington, but California is going to eat up a lot of that, as well as North Dakota. This state, who's this? Kansas, they were barely hanging on. They're going to fall, and it looks like Oklahoma any second is going to fall as well, as they are just being swarmed by New Mexico. I mean, they're holding their lines pretty well, and they were able to piece out. That was impressive. So now Oklahoma's trying to do the backdoor escape, alright, trying to take one of these rivers into Missouri territory. Illinois conquered by Missouri, so Missouri going to get a lot of that land, as you see there, by those nice textures. We've entered the top half, top 25. Missouri did well for a second. Oklahoma able to really kind of survive and thrive now. They were on the brink of death, and now they have a lot of territory. North Dakota still hasn't taken out Washington because California is helping them out. A traditional alliance. Or one that I'm not surprised of. Iowa had to escape in a whole nother state, and they're not doing too hot. Meanwhile, Maryland was conquered by North Carolina, who has quietly been doing really good on the east side of the country. California now expands, taking out Arizona. We got this big old wide river that I hastily made. They've crossed it, and they're now into Colorado. Tennessee was conquered by Indiana. That was very swift. Michigan has been slowly, over the years, being taken over by North Dakota very quietly. North Carolina continues to try to push up into the northeast. Georgia and South Carolina, of course, going to help them out. They're in an alliance. Let's check out the alliance map. Very pretty itself. The only one not aligned is New Hampshire. R.I.P. New Hampshire. Luckily, they're in a, quietly advantageous spot. It's not good for offensive, but it's good for defensive. Oh, no. Indiana just snuck in and took out Georgia. Oh, come on. My home state not faring well, man. Colorado is just taken out by Nebraska. We have 18 left. Georgia, man, they always make a little bit of a run, but rarely do they make a deep push. It's just one of those situations. Mississippi hanging out in Louisiana territory, but not for long. Meanwhile, we had an alliance disband up here, and it's showing. Everyone's turning on each other. Currently, Rhode Island just took out Vermont. That was a big move, and then they're going to go up to New Hampshire, who had no friends anyway. So Rhode Island went from the smallest state to one of the bigger territories currently, as we have 15 left. Who will end up making the top 10? Alabama has all this southeast, but Indiana, man, they've been on a tear down south, slowly taking out each state. North Carolina definitely not doing too hot. There's a lot of border gore out east. Oklahoma just taken out, as well as North Carolina. Iowa finally had the dagger put in them, leaving us with 12. Make it 11 because Connecticut just fell to Rhode Island. North Dakota, who had a really good run there for a minute, is slowly being taken over. South Dakota was pretty quiet the whole time, and they're also on the brink of death. But the next to fall is going to be Nebraska. So your top 10 is Washington, California, New Mexico, North and South Dakota, Indiana, Michigan, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Alabama. Rhode Island making a rare deep run, but a few of these are going to fall pretty quickly. Yes, South Carolina and New Mexico, North Dakota all fell within succession of each other, leaving us with 7. California doing a little wrap around former day Texas into Alabama, who is dead and broke. So now California just has this, claw of land. South Dakota also fell during that talk session. Indiana, California, Washington, Michigan, Rhode Island. California may have expanded too much into the southeast. Their economy is not doing too hot. Washington turning on them, taking advantage. They have to escape down south. Michigan was just turned on by Rhode Island and Indiana. So you have your final 4 here. Who will it be? It's not looking like California. They just barely peace out, saving themselves for a moment longer. Shout out Indiana and Rhode Island. 2 states that don't usually make it far in these simulations are doing really good for themselves here. California has finally collapsed. Rhode Island's helping Indiana take out Washington. And then who will it be between these 2? There's a lot of rivers to cross. Indiana. I guess they had too much land to cover and take care of because their economy not doing too hot. They're having to fall back, hopping rivers, but not even quick enough. Rhode Island with the quick blitzkrieg attack. They're going to take over the whole nation. Rhode Island, the smallest state, becomes the only state. I think this is their first time winning a simulation on my channel. Shout out Rhode Island. So, what'd y'all think of this simulation? How about we run it up one more time very quickly, shall we? And you know what? For fun, I don't feel like correcting the river once more, so Utah and Colorado, you share a bond here as we go immediately into super speed. Let's watch the chaos unfold. We have our first states falling, like Massachusetts, Tennessee, Idaho, all the first big losers. Georgia didn't make a good run here either. Florida taken out. Already, we have nearly 20 states being conquered as we just fly through this on a speed run. Rhode Island did not last long. Luckily, though, they won the big, long one. I just wanted to see how similar of a matchup it would be. And it's been very different so far. As Texas now being a front runner as they usually are. Wow, just watch it. It's like fireworks watching them. Boom, 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 boom. Bam, bam. Already we have 16. Connecticut, though. Look at them. Kind of a funky territory they got going on. Looking like a curly twist. Montana going to be the next to fall. We're already rapidly approaching our top 10. It's like Alabama, not going to make it to the top 10, but they had another good run. Your top 10, or top 9, is going to be Connecticut, Vermont, South Carolina, Kansas, Texas, Arizona, Oregon, Washington, and North Dakota. Kansas, wow, just being teamed up by everyone, and it looks like, oh, they peaced out last second. I thought Connecticut was going to put the dagger in them. Arizona flooding up north, taking out Oregon. Connecticut will put the dagger into Kansas. North Dakota, they made a real deep run last time. They're trying to get sweet revenge here. Washington didn't make a deep run. It was Oregon last time, but this time Washington made a name for themselves. Texas just collapsed, as well as Arizona. North Dakota looking like the big dog to beat here as they take out Washington here too. So you have Vermont, South Carolina, Connecticut, and North Dakota. Who will end up being the winner in this 2.0 matchup? Wasn't Vermont. South Carolina is in a very precarious situation. They're going to want to team up with Connecticut. Stay on their good side. Just keep on feeding them money if they want any chance. Ooh. North Dakota has fallen to Connecticut. Another small state in the top 2. Can they get advantage over South Carolina and suffocate them? Or will South Carolina break free? Looks like Connecticut was able to get their act together there. Let's see if they can just put the final touch. And they will. So, wow. With every state having a river border, it looks like it really helped out those smaller states in the Northeast. We saw 2 of them both end up winning it all. Very interesting. If y'all like this one, hit me with the like button. If you want to see it run up again in the future, definitely hit that like button, comment, let me know, and we will see if that trend continues possibly in the future. Join the Southern Woods community if you want to see more of these simulations, outdoor videos, food reviews. I do all sorts of things. Without further ado, I'll see y'all in the next one. Southern Woods out!